What's going on? We are on our way to 100 grand. That's right. We're trying to help you get a piece of that $100,000. Now, when you sign up with Go High Level using our link that's down there in the description, you're going to get your choice between 14 days free. There's a 30-day free with a whole boot camp where somebody goes along with you and helps you get everything set up. That's awesome. We've got the SaaS program. That's if you're looking to build an agency, everything like that. And for about 5 more days, 8 hours and 36 seconds, something like that, you have your chance, if you sign up now, to get a part of that 100 grand. All right. Now, the other thing that we were giving you guys is over 150 snapshots and counting, because every day we do one of these videos, we're building more and more snapshots, and you're going to get access to them all just for using our link, right? So we keep getting asked the last couple of days since we've been really pushing this promo, because again, 5 days, 8 hours, and what, 4 seconds now. Uh, we keep getting asked, what is this snapshot you guys keep talking about? What is a snapshot? So sometimes we have to remember that not everybody knows the lingo, right? So snapshot is pretty cool. And we're giving you over 150 of them. They're really, really cool stuff. People sell them in the Go High Level community for thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, vice versa. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to have my main man, Bryan Clark, explain to you what a snapshot is and how this is going to work to launch you from on the level to Go High Level. All right. That's what you're going to need to do. When you get this stuff, you'll be able to put everything together and get your business in motion way faster than if you wait till after this 5 days, 7 hours, and 58 minutes. All right. So, Bryan, take them away. Show them what a snapshot is and how this is going to work for them, man.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming into this video. Let's go ahead and dive right on into this. We've got a slide deck that's going to explain it. We're going to show you what's in it, what's not in it, what can transfer, what can't. So let's just dive right on in. So today is all about what's inside a Go High Level Snapshot. And this is going to be a practical overview for insurance agency owners. We're going to be covering what the pieces do, where each fit in the agency growth machine, and why workflows are the glue that holds everything together. So let's go ahead and dive on in. All right. So a snapshot is a pre built agency operating system. That's it. It's all the tools, all the pieces, everything that you have built to make your agency run smoothly. And you can go ahead and take all of those tools, replicate them, and give them out to agents. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give the definition here from our slide. A snapshot is a reusable sub account setup that can include funnels, websites, forms, surveys, calendars, pipelines, tags, custom fields, templates, dashboards, and workflows. It gives the agency a working structure instead of an empty CRM. And it's not just a design template, it's a full framework for client acquisition and the processes that go along with it. Now, the snapshot gives you the machine, but setup and testing makes it operational. Now we're talking about all of these different items that come with it. Now I know that funnels, websites, forms, surveys, those should all make sense, right? But there's a couple of other pieces in here like custom fields or templates, all right? Or custom values maybe. And so I want to talk a little bit about that. Now, one of the things that you can do to really enhance a snapshot and build this thing out from the ground up is by leveraging those custom values. Those can be placeholders on things like your funnels, your websites, your email copy, all of those kinds of things. And what it does is it makes your setup seamless and simple because all your agent has to do is fill in the blanks on those custom values and then they can use them in the templates. There's also pre built custom values for all of the business profile inside of your Go High Level account. So things like your logo, things like things like your company name, things like your email address that you're using for the business. All of those items are going to be pre-built and can be leveraged and used inside funnels, inside websites, inside of emails, all of those kinds of things so that your messaging can all be pre-done for you. It's just a couple little quick steps of setup and completing your profile to then have your website live or your funnel live or your emails live or all of those kinds of things. So it's really important that I kind of share that with you because the those custom values are really going to help those agencies grow because as you're building out your funnels, if you're forward thinking about it and you leverage those custom values up front, then that means that every agent going forward just has a simple process and a form that they have to fill out in order to see the results that they're looking to achieve, right? Now, again, the snapshot gives you the machine, but the setup and the testing is what's going to make it operational for you and your agents. Now, let's talk about what transfers and what does not. So, when you build out a snapshot, there's certain pieces of the puzzle that you can just transfer to your new agent's account. And so what's usually going to be able to transfer no problem is going to be things like your pages, your funnels, your forms, your surveys. And when I say pages, I want you to think websites, I want you to think blogs, anything that's built inside of that website portal. This could even be things like stores. Those can all transfer over from one account to the next. Now, the next piece is going to be your workflows and your pipelines. So the pipelines is going to be the visual representation boards. These are the stages that your leads flow through. This could be that it's a captured or a brand new lead. It could be that it's an appointment for the very next stage. It could be close. You could have a longer pipeline stage that you've gone ahead and set up with multiple stages so that you have different touch points throughout everything. But the workflows and the pipelines all work together. Next is going to be the tags, the custom fields, and the custom values. So, what I want you to think of is when you're going ahead and you're passing over a form or a survey, there are going to be specific questions that you're asking in those forms or in those surveys. Now, those specific questions are going to be stored in the system as custom fields. Now, those custom fields will then pass over to the next account. That way, they can gather the same type of information from the same forms or the same surveys and communicate with those prospects based on those fields being filled out. It's like one of the best ways you can personalize your emails, your text messages is by using the information that you capture from the leads in those forms and those surveys, making the system work together in unison, right? And the tags are going to be all of the different tools that you're going to use, or not tools. Tags are just going to be a tag on a specific lead. So that way you can track what leads came from what lead source and things along those lines. Next is going to be templates like your email templates, SMS templates, all of those kinds of things. Your dashboards and the primary settings will transfer over. Now, what's not going to transfer over with a snapshot? This is going to be things like your contacts or your conversations, the appointments that you booked, any phone numbers that you purchased, or emails that you have authenticated through the domain tool, right? Any payment connections or third party integrations or live review history. So, none of your personal information, none of your personal connections are going to pass over when a snapshot is moved to a new sub account to preload a business in a box for an agent. A snapshot is going to give you the framework, but the agency still has to connect the fuel lines to make everything run and operate in the right manner. Now, let's talk about the insurance agency growth map. It's simple. Everybody's going to understand this and it's going to make perfect sense. You start out by capturing leads, you move into a lead qualification process, you nurture those leads appropriately based off of where they qualify in that process. You're going to book an appointment, and then the goal is to close and retain that prospect for life, turning a prospect into a lifelong relationship. Now, every tool in high level has a specific job at a specific stage. And the most common mistake is treating the platform like a toolbox of disconnected features instead of a single unified growth machine. Let's first start with the capture layer. This is going to be things like your website. It's going to be there to build trust and credibility before the prospect ever speaks to an agent. Completely transferable. Build your website once, you can hand the keys over to the next agent, and they can have that same trust transferability. Funnels. You can create your focused action, whether it's a quote request, an appointment, a download, or an application. All of these funnels, once you complete and build them exactly how you want them for your unique offer, your unique selling proposition, you can pass that over to your agents. The forms and surveys that you leverage to capture information, right? So the forms are going to capture basic information, but your surveys will capture deeper qualification data, and quizzes can allow you to segment colder traffic so that you know what messaging goes to what audience at what segment at what time. Now, this layer's sole job is to turn attention into a known contact inside of the CRM. The job is to take a lead, gather enough attention, and get them to take action and fill out a form. This is our capture layer. This leads us to the CRM layer. This is where we have a contact record. This is going to be the single source of truth for every lead, prospect, client, and referral partner. Now, your leads as they come into the system should be tagged. This way, it tells the system what bucket each person belongs in automatically. And when you set up your automations correctly, that lead form being submitted is going to be the actual trigger that launches the automation. So that way you can have the contact record built, you can have the tags added to the system, you can store specific data in custom fields, and you can have that custom value for personalization so that your brand, your messaging goes out on point every single time to your ideal prospects. Now, this gives you the ability to have not only a shared layer where multiple agents can go in, see a list of clients, identify who the owner is. You can also set it up so they have visibility to only their own contacts. Or if you're simply selling them their own sub account, you don't have to worry about any agent crossover, right? Each agent has their own sub account, they have their own billing. This is what makes the most sense in my world, because that way they can track and pay for their own usage every step of the way. And it's not a shared agency cost, which is why I recommend the pro account and going with that 497 model. We've been on it since it was originally 397 back in 2019. In 2021, they changed to 497, and that's been the price ever since. Right. Next, we move into our sales layer. And this is how the sales layer works. This is going to be your pipeline so that you can make your sales process completely visible. This means every deal in its exact stage with nothing hidden. This shines a light on your entire roadmap for your sales so that you know which stages have the most bottlenecks and where you need to do the most work so that you can convert at the highest level. Next is going to be the opportunities that fall under that pipelines. This is going to represent the active deals attached to the contact record, giving the owner a dollar view of the pipeline. If we take a look on the left side of the screen, this is a very good visual representation of what your pipeline is going to look like. You can simply drag and drop these contacts from stages, and you can have things set automatically because things like calendars can remove friction between interest and conversation, turning warm lead into booked appointment. Now, once that lead becomes a booked appointment, it can automatically move to the appointment stage in your pipeline. Now, a simple agency pipeline flow should be something like this. A new lead has entered the database. They've been contacted. This is when somebody's actually had a conversation with them. They move the lead into the contacted bucket. Then we have an appointment booked, a quote sent, and then whether it has been won or lost. That is a killer, simple flow for an agency to follow where you can see where bottlenecks are and easily move those prospects from one stage to the next. And we can't have all of this without a communication layer, right? With high level, you get a unified inbox. That means every conversation stays attached to the contact record and no thread gets lost across channels. It means your SMS, it's built for speed, immediate response, high intent leads before they move on. You can get in contact with them super fast and miss the opportunity or and gain the opportunity to win the speed to lead race. You also have emails, so that way you can send educational info, you can send confirmations, and you can deeper nurture those leads with sequences that would build trust over time. And last, you've got that phone and chat. This is where you have the missed call text back that can protect high intent calls. It will stop that agent from going down the list and reaching out to the next agent. And then chat can also capture visitors who would have left silently on your website. So all of your chat boxes and chat widgets, those chat bots on your website, all of those conversations all funnel into one place. So guys, when it comes to that communication layer, that unified inbox, you're going to have text messages, you're going to have emails, you're going to have Facebook messages, Instagram messages, you're going to have WhatsApp messages all funneling into there. Um, every single channel that you could potentially communicate with a prospect on that's integrated and connected with the system, you'd be able to chat with prospects directly through there. So you never lose a piece of communication. Now, for nurture and closing. Now, what this layer delivers, you have templates that ensure every team member communicates with the same consistency and quality. These are your workflows, these are your automations, these are going to be emails and text messages that are going out. And those follow up sequences keep the agency top of mind for prospects who are not ready today, but will be at some point in the near future. You also have the ability to house your documents, your contracts, and your payments. Your support service agreements and your agency business operations are all managed in one centralized hub. And your review requests can automatically turn happy clients into public trust assets that attract the next lead. And I'm going to put a shameless plug here. Be sure to leverage your top agent near me profile with that review link that we give you. You can go and copy and paste it directly into the text message or the email that you're going to send out to your prospect requesting a review. That way you can get more happy clients reaching out to you through Top Agent Near Me, where we have hundreds of thousands of consumers searching every single month. Now, the fortune is not just in the lead, it's in what happens after the lead doesn't buy immediately. What you do or what your systems do make all the difference. Now, let's talk about the reporting layer, right? Your dashboard is going to give you, the owner, a view of all of the leads, the appointments, the opportunities, the pipeline value, and the sales activity all in one place. There's also a specialized reporting section inside the system that goes beyond that main dashboard. And the reports reveal where leads come from, how many booked, how many showed, and exactly where deals are leaking out of the pipeline. You can also see what your agents are doing on a daily basis. You can see their call logs, their call reports. You can see a breakdown of the agents that are in your office, and you can see who is actually operating at the highest level, who sent the most texts, who sent the most emails, who's made the most dials, and ultimately who's closed the most deals. You can also see who's making their appointments and who is not. That way, you know when to turn people off on the lead volume flow and when to turn them up for the agents that are consistently showing up and consistently closing. Now, at the end of the day, you cannot scale what you cannot see. And the reporting gives you the ability to access that with crystal clear, precise visibility so that you have a full understanding of what to do with your agency. And the master key of everything, the glue that holds it all together and makes all of the pieces to these puzzles work seamlessly in one fell swoop: workflows. And a workflow operates on one simple principle: when this happens, do this next. So when we set up our automations, we can have things like a form submission, right? Being the trigger that actually launches that whole automation. This can then go into a specific action to apply certain tags. This is a life insurance lead. This is a final expense lead. This is a auto insurance lead, a homeowner's insurance lead. Um, the list goes on and on and on. That way you can set that lead however you need to. You can then have it move through that automation and create the opportunity and set the pipeline up so that you can visually see the representation of that new lead on a visual board. It can then send text messages out to the lead or emails and notify the agent. It can start that follow up all automatically behind the scenes. Now, the next piece that it can do is once an appointment is booked, it can send all of the confirmations and multi-step reminders to protect the appointment from no-shows. And if they don't show up, we can trigger additional automations that would send out email campaigns and text campaigns to rebook them on the or on the calendar so that you have another appointment scheduled with that individual that hopefully they show up to the next time. You can set up an automation for a quote sent where you can trigger a quote follow up sequence so that no opportunity goes silent after the proposal leaves. And you can also set it up so that once a deal is won, you can launch onboarding communication and review request sequences without lifting a finger. And every new review that you add to your top agent near me profile gives Google more fuel to send consumers to it. Now, the final framework: a snapshot is going to give you the pieces, it's going to be pre built, and it's going to be ready to activate. The CRM is going to store the truth, every contact, every deal, every conversation, all in one place. And the workflows are going to connect the pieces. They're turning a toolbox into a system that runs without you. I want you to stop thinking of Go High Level as a software and start thinking of Go High Level as the operating system for your agency, one that captures, qualifies, nurtures, books, closes, retains, reviews, reports, and ultimately scales your business. Josh?
Hey man, this is awesome stuff here. And it's just one of the questions we keep getting. So again, guys, if you have questions, make sure you comment on this, or if you're a part of topagentnearme.com, another shameless plug. But if you're on there, you can reach out to us and we will do a video showing you exactly what it is. It'll be in the description, but we'll do a video that shows you exactly what it is, all right, that you want. So make sure you guys subscribe, do the whole ring the bell thing, all that stuff. Give it a little good game. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now I'm looking at this too as not only would this be powerful for an agency. Like if I was just starting in my, say with some IMO and I wanted to build my own team and set up my own stuff, how powerful would this be if I got this and then went out and said, hey, when you join me, you're gonna get on and on and on and on and on and on. So I always hear about recruiting, recruiting, recruiting. I mean, why not add this to your repertoire of what you can use to recruit? All right, guys. So if you aren't on topagentnearme.com, you need to get there, create your free profile, and get your stuff launched. Check out our new stuff like Featured Agent, Local Legend. And if you are just looking for any type of insurance, make sure you head to topagentnearme.com, search your area, and get that one-to-one contact. None of that 40 days of spam every 1,000 days for the next 2 years. Even after you've already bought a policy, it's just direct. All right, guys. And we will say for today, thanks for stopping by, America.